meet Professor Grace Otinwa, who feels for the students but insists teachers are not to blame. If only governments in times past kept to their end of the bargain.
Education is underfunded. The funding of higher education in Nigeria is grossly inadequate. And this can be easily seen in the number of students being admitted and the facilities available for the teaching of the students. Okay, student population is very high when compared with learning facilities. Our learning facilities are overstretched. And you can look around University of Lagos. You'll be amazed the student population we have on this campus and the number of personnel, the number of classrooms we have, okay, in the university. Secondly, when it comes to a trade union dispute between the federal government and ASU union, you know, it's actually appalling. Why would federal government enter into an agreement with ASU? And before you know it, they are backing out. We have a lot of issues with Medical Association of Nigeria also going on strike regularly. Coming back to the classrooms, again, I look forward to a government that will increase the budgetary allocation being given to education. And they should be willing to increase fund in the area of training of personnel, training of teachers, increase in the number of exchange programs between Nigeria and other countries. And this is what I mean. I'm not talking about sending Nigerians to other countries, but let foreigners also come and learn, because Nigeria is a unique country. As a person, I would want us to focus in the area of exchange of programs. And most importantly is the empowerment of young people in this country. We have too many youths looking for job after graduation. And again, after graduation, some of them don't even find relevance, because the facilities we use in teaching them, when you compare it with what we have abroad, does not compare favorably. They have high techs. We don't even have some at all. And in cases where we have, when you compare it, it is inadequate. So for these young people to function well and to find their relevance on the labor market, they must be given similar experience with what parents who can afford foreign education, okay, to those children who cannot afford to study abroad.
Hello, how are you?
Echoing our opinion are Drs. Okoli and Akinyemi from the University of Lagos and Yaba College of Technology.
I would want to say that neither the two parties in such actions are right. In most cases, the workers would come and say, this is what we want, or something like that. The government will say, okay, this is it. They get to an equilibrium. They sign an agreement. Unfortunately, in this country, in most cases, the government move away from those agreements. The government renege in their actions. The government will feel, people who represent the government, they feel that they have the authority. And then at the end of the day, things will not work. And so the whole thing, this whole system go to a grind. And then at the end of the day, the grass suffers. Particularly in education. It's very unfortunate that subsequent governments in Nigeria feels that education is not important, or is not important in the building up of a nation, and they got it wrong. Otherwise, I mean, a responsible government should not see teachers or instructors down tools. Anyway, because the children suffer, the system suffers, the product that we are going to produce, you know, that you should not be able to, you should not allow the vacuum, you know. There's no vacuum in the system. And so we shouldn't have allowed that system. So those who represent the government believes they have all that it takes. And so they want to most of the time arms twist the workforce. And the workforce say, oh, okay, no, we're not doing it that way. And so the whole thing becomes grounded. However, I'm of the opinion that with those people that we have in this, that we will be having in this government should have learned his lesson, particularly GMB, Muhammad Buhari's administration. They probably should have learned their lessons, and put the right people in the right. Particularly in education, it has to be technocrats who understand the system, who has gone through the rudiments, who has gone from the grass, to a level in education, and who can actually play it well, And so, with that, we would have a fair deal in the education sector. Each successive government, I wouldn't know what the problems are. They all got it wrong. The government, most of the time, well, we have a vision 2020, but it's all politics here and there, We should have allowed technocrats to, I keep saying technocrats because I believe that there are people that are actually at a high level in this country. We have the resources. We have those resources. So we need to know what this country, where we're going to be in the next 20 years or in the next 15 years, short term, long term. And so at that, we build our education system around that area. If it's, we need technologists, who will be down to earth in the area of technology, why not create the opportunity now and train them? After all, training a high-level skilled person takes not less than 8 to 10 years, particularly from the university. You can't from first degree to second degree to third degree, and even if not that at third degree, but people who are proficient, particularly in the skill area, the skillful areas. So the government should determine right now, because the world is gone far, we should determine and create more colleges or universities of technology instead of the conventional university. Gone are the days when everybody rushed to doing any course in the university, because the Nigerian system is still looking for people to replace those that are gone. But now we need specifics. We need specifics. And so the system should create that ample opportunity for our citizens or our students to bring themselves up, or to bring themselves up in the area of technological education. It's very important. The conventional universities are so many out there, both private and public, and we still keep on creating those conventional universities. I know that the universities of technologies, they are scattered here and there, but the question is, are they really universities of technology? What are they universities of technology? So we need to readdress this area. Universities of technology still doing the conventional thing, still doing business admin, still doing history, still doing international relations, because students are from there. Because we have more students, and we should be strict, and we should have universities should have areas that they specialize in, and we know that if you go to that area, that's the special. For instance, in America, Duke University is known for its medicine practice, and all over that region in America, that's in North Carolina. Duke University has that, level of training medical practitioners, and they are very good at it. And so many other specialized areas like that. If you ask me, which of the universities in Nigeria is specialized in training special set of people? Well, Yaba College of Tech, we are very good. We are most of the time good in our engineering and art. Art in the areas of graphics, in the areas of sculpture, in the areas of textile design. So some of these areas, we are very, very noted at that. Not that those other areas are not good, but there is an area that should be an area of concentration for any of an ideal system. And so we know that the specialties and the research will continue in those areas. It's time to be challenged. Some of our universities will just create opportunities for people to come here and there. Those areas of specialty. I hope that within this next span 4 years, the system will sit down and say, look, where is our direction? Direction is important, in every area of life, including education. Yes, education should be well funded. I have gone out of the country, and I know how I have seen budgets of other countries, how education is very well funded, and they are actually the monitoring. It's not about even allocating big money to it, but how do they monitor these things? How does this thing work? The money is allocated there. It's highly unfortunate in this country. The practice is when you vote, that large sums of money, little of it gets to the ground. So, but I am envisaging that with this new administration of Muhammadu Buhari, President Muhammadu Buhari, monitoring is very important. Education needs to be funded very, very well. And if we do that, the results will come out in no due time.
One of the things that caused unrest, trade disputes between the government and the union, essentially border on inability to respect agreements, to honor agreements, and even to negotiate. Many times, as soon as the old agreement is about to expire, they give long notices, long warnings, and the government agents are not forthcoming. And it will take series of strikes to get them to, warning strikes, to get them to sit down and agree and negotiate. And thereafter, even to honor the agreement, it takes series of strikes then. So I expect the new government who is coming on the wind of change. I hope that change will translate to using the most democratic procedures in handling labor disputes, in honoring agreements, and seen to be truthful and trustworthy. Many times, the unions do not trust the government agents, not trust the government. So there's mutual suspicion, and this creates unnecessary disharmony in the institutions and in the unions. So first and foremost, let them trade the path of democracy. Let them make sure that they are transparent. They also make sure that they research well before reach agreements. Most of the time, it seems that they reach agreements in a hurry, and then go and realize that the implementation will be difficult, almost impossible. So this time around, they should take time, do it with dispatch, and do it promptly, and give the unions an impression that they can be trusted, that they are coming with a new strategy this time around.
Great expectations from students, lecturers, and the sector who have all been at the wrong end of the stick. All they want is for the government to provide an enabling environment for education to thrive. So, the ball is now in the court of the federal government to ensure all issues are ironed out once and for all. With that, we come to the end of the show. Feel free to send your comments to the platforms displayed on your screen. Also send your pictures and videos to us, And remember to keep them positive. Bye-bye.